official pro players.
I'm joined now by the mastermind of official pro players, Walt Harris. Thank you so much for joining me. What you're doing is encouraging. And I want you to explain to me more about your organization and exactly what your insight was that made you decide this was something that you wanted to do. It's kind of like opening up a flower, if you will,
right.
Because usually the affiliation between pro athlete and, I guess, status quo, small.
Right.
This is like a budding rose. So I'd love for you to tell me more about the official pro players and what you plan on doing.
Right. Well, the official pro players originally, we had the name of official NFL players. And the main thought process behind it was just that I wanted to find a way to gather a lot of our brethren together. You know, from being here in Atlanta and living here over a few years, I've seen and experienced just maybe somewhat of a disconnect from a lot of us. And I'm a team person, and I love togetherness. You know, I played the sport for over 14 years, and I've gotten used to the atmosphere of togetherness and playing together, playing as one. And so I wanted to carry that same motto once I retired and concept to where we find players and get guys in this Atlanta metro area to where we just try to connect back with each other. Because sometimes when you transition, when you retire, there's a huge disconnect. Guys go their own way. And I think we're more of a fraternity, you know, and I wanted to try to make sure in a brotherhood. And I wanted to do something to where I created something to where all the guys can come back home. You know, there are a number of different organizations out there, and I support them 100%. I am the second vice president with the NFLPA chapter, and so just from being on that, I've learned a lot from sitting and watching a lot. So I just really wanted to do something to where we could gather a lot of the younger guys amongst with the older guys. So there's a gap that we need to connect, and I wanted to create a concept to where we all get together, we hang out, have fun, we network with each other. You know, there needs to be a lot more dialogue. Guys are dealing with so many things, personal, business-wise, and if we can create a platform to where, in a brotherhood, to where we all can get together.
Yes.
I think just from experience from being retired, guys go through a lot of things, and we transition. And so, you know, just being able to see another brother, seeing another player amongst each other at a different event, enjoying each other, that does a lot for us, and that gets us back into the mode of things.
And bringing the community into that, it gives them an opportunity, or gives us an opportunity to expand upon our personal brands by networking, getting social mixers like tonight, provided entertainment. So you're definitely in a great, joyous environment. People are there for the same reasons, to have a good time and to get to know their fellow man. That's awesome. Now, what other type of events do you plan on throwing?
Well, we're definitely looking to always, down the road, looking to get into the community. I think one of the things, our motto is engage, unite, and empower. But first and foremost, that starts with engaging with one another, uniting with one another, and then empowering each other. And as we do that, now we go out into the community, and then we engage with the community, we unite with the community, and then we empower the community as one. And so we're looking to do a lot of things. There are football camps, there are things that we want to connect with other organizations, and I think we have a brand, and I think the different companies and organizations will love our brand, and we want to be able to connect with them as well and show them that we are real people, and we want to be able to try to figure out how we could work together and partner together to help a cause, you know, to help a cause. And so I think that is one of the big things that I'm looking forward down the road. We're looking to having a yacht party down the road. To that's more of a fun event, but we're looking to, you know, to give back. That is the main thing. We give back, we support each other, and our motto is, you know, help me, help you.
Now, how do sponsors like Audi and Harley Davidson play into the big plan?
Well, Audi, I mean, that's another huge supporter that has been out here today. Harley has been a huge supporter of us. They just gotten on board with us, and so it's just all about connecting and figuring out what their needs are, and we want to try to meet their needs. I'm a big person in regards to how can I help you first? So, and we all can
Ritz-Carlton spirit, that's what I call it.
Yeah, how can I help you first? And so when it comes to that aspect, now I provide something for you and I help you. So hopefully with anything that I have going on, you can help me as well. And now that creates a great partnership. And we just go out in the community and just do a lot of things, you know, whatever the need is.
an internal ecosystem. That's kind of cool. I like that idea, and the way that you presented it. It's very eloquent. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, speaking of the community, you know, I've asked a number of the players regarding their thoughts and the state of our community right now, and I'd like to hear your perspective on the recent events that have occurred over the past week. They've been very disturbing, kind of shake one's personal thought process, emotions, everything up. Right. And you kind of have to find a place of solitude at some point, just so you can get your clarity back, and you can get, you know, your mind thinking straight, clearly, and if possible, positively. Right. How do you feel about everything that's been going on?
Well, I mean, you use the word disappointing. It's very disappointing with the things that's going on out there from what we're hearing. But it's no surprise that these things have been going on for years and years. But obviously we have the media, we have the technology now to be able to expose those things a lot more, and it's very disappointing. You know, when you hear these stories about the killings and things like that, you know, the first reaction is to be upset, to want to try to do something back. But then you have to take a step back and think there's a bigger cause, there's a bigger calling, there's a bigger reason. You know, you just can't jump out there and just go off of emotion. Right. You know, we have to figure out why is this happening? You know, what caused this? You know, and try to figure out how we could unite again, engage with one another, unite, and how can we empower each other with the information that we need to try to mobilize a little bit more and educate ourselves. We need tons of education of what's going on, and we need to educate the young ones as well as we need to be educated a whole lot more. And then as we get more education of what's going on, we'll be able to make better decisions. But we cannot, you know, it's tough. You know, it's tough to tell guys don't react, you know, with all the things out there, you know, because I know my first initial emotion was, man, that's wrong. What can we do? Let's get back. Right. But then you have to take a step back. You got to be smart, you know, because you can't go off of emotions. You know, you can't do it. And I think when you see things out in the community, you know, everybody is reacting off of emotion. And so I think we're a lot more smarter than our emotions. That we got to use our mind and brain. Absolutely. Yeah. And the biggest thing for me on a personal level was at some point I did have to shut down social media. And my reason for it is I want to be involved and I want to be informed by all means, but I had to find a place within myself where I could find peace so that I could think properly, not think to respond, because regardless of our skin color, and I know people say race, but I believe there's one race, which is the human race. We all have different heritages in which we come from. I have people that I love in many different, I would dare to say all. And so for those people that I love that don't perhaps share that same ignorant thought process that many other people do, I have to think about them. I have to think about my immediate family, and I have to think about legacy. And what I mean by legacy is it's unfortunate that some people's behavior, which is very reminiscent of days past, but they've learned that. They've inherited that. It's a generational curse, if you will. Yeah, absolutely. And until they've been exposed to something different and they're given a tool to help them make a different decision for themselves, then we'll continue to have events like this. But the beautiful part is, I believe that it's on the mend. I read something on Facebook today where a young lady posted, she said she walked into a store and there were two police officers and they were speaking to, I guess, the clerk at the store. And you could tell that they were speaking about the incidents that have occurred, because she could hear a little bit of it, but she said she continued on about her business. And she found herself standing in the aisle with one of the officers who's now standing in the midst of the aisle looking at her. And he greets her and she's pleasant back to him, and he asks her, "Are you okay?" Wow. And her response was, "I'm all right." And he looked at her and he says, "No, are you really okay? Because right now is a difficult time to be both of us." Absolutely. And she said she hugged him and she just broke down and cried. Right. Yeah. We're on the mend. We can't do it all at once. It just takes a person by person basis. And if we all do it together, very much like your organization, if we all pull together in who we are as people, as resources, regardless of what our past is, regardless of what we've done, regardless of our heritage, we can make it happen. And that's the key. I mean, you said something that really stood out, and it's something that's been I've been thinking about and thought about it at the same time. You know, we have gotten so conditioned to see something or see someone and assume that they're okay.
Yeah.
And I think we have to practice taking that extra step. After we ask you, are you okay? Are you really okay?
Right.
And I think we, at this point, you know, hey, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. And that's it. It's kind of like habitized. It's like, I'm not doing okay, but my natural response or my natural comeback is I'm okay. But we have to learn to take a step back again and ask ourselves, am I really okay? And then be able to express that.
Yes.
And the other person has to be able to say, you're okay, but how are you really doing? Because at the end of the day, we all are going through things.
Absolutely.
And we have to be more vocal about it. And we have to, on the flip side, we also have to be able to ask that question the second time and be more serious about it.
Discernment makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And the only way you can gain discernment is if you center yourself and you genuinely look to care for your fellow man.
Correct.
And that's all we need to do is genuinely care for our fellow man, be concerned about what's going on in any community.
Right.
Right now, another thing I saw on Facebook was like, as far as the Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, someone made a very good point. Saying all lives matter in the midst of everything that's going on right now is like running through a breast cancer awareness march, say for instance, going, all diseases matter.
Right.
It's not about that they don't matter, because they do. But right now there's a specific need.
Yep.
And that's what the focus is on.
Right.
I thank you so much for providing us your insight and also the opportunity to come out and network, socialize, have a great time, meet new people.
Absolutely.
And knowing that going forward, you have a bigger plan with the official pro players to affect the community in a positive way.
Absolutely.
We thank you very much, Captain.
Can't do it alone. You know, I just thank everyone for coming out and supporting this event. We would do more, and it's all about help me, help you. And so anytime that people try to call upon me, I try to be there to help them as well, because that's what it's about. You give and you give back.
And that's amazing, and thank you very much for having that perspective and lending it up to us.
Absolutely.
Because we often don't get a chance to see it from this, from our side looking in when it comes to pro athletes. Now I want you to talk to that camera right there and tell everybody where they can find you on social media and the official pro players. Where can you all be found? Right,
you can always find me on officialproplayers.com. Go to our website, and also look me up at Walt Harris on Facebook.com. Also, I am also on Instagram as official pro players. So just look me up. I'll be around. I'm always on social media, just trying to figure out what's all going on.
Thank you so much, Walt. I really appreciate your time and everything you've given to us this evening, because this evening would not happen without you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm on the red carpet. I'm having a good time.
We're on the red carpet here. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
My name is Walt Harris, and I am the official pro player.
Official pro players.